What's up guys, quickly before the video starts, I want to let you know I do have new merchandise available. It's only going to be up for 6 days in the link in the description, so you should definitely check that out. It's basically just this awesome Boo design with my logo. It comes in hoodies, t-shirts, sweaters, and I also have this Boo plush available that's very limited edition. Only a certain number of these were made, so if you're into that type of thing, I would grab one quickly. They're going pretty fast. But yeah, just want to let you know, hit that link in the description and check that out. Yeah. Also, they will be shipped before Halloween, so get spooky. What is going on, guys? Welcome back to another Pokemon Sun and Moon Wi-Fi battle. Today, I have another PU match. This is using the same team as I have been in the previous couple videos, but I wanted to get one more use out of it. This will be the last battle, but this is against Ian from Twitter. He's got a pretty interesting team. The one thing that I do notice is that he is running the Alolan Raichu, so that's going to kind of mess with my plans with the electric terrain. That thing's ability does give it a speed increase whenever it's on electric terrain, so my Swoobat strategy might not work out here. But I am going to try and see if I can get this team to still put in some work. Another thing that I do notice about my opponent's team is that he is running a Guzzlord, so that's going to make Swoobat pretty difficult to use unless I can take care of that thing early. So let's just go ahead and hop into the match and see how this plays out. Alright, so I wasn't really sure what he was going to want to lead off with, so I just decided to throw out Clefairy, get them early game Stealth Rocks, and let this little dude stretch out his tiny wings. So he ends up leading off with his Basculin, which isn't the best for me. I am a special wall, so I can't handle physical attacks very nicely, but I decided to stay in here knowing that even if he is choice banded, I will be able to live at least one waterfall. So he does go for the waterfall, and judging by that damage, I am able to tell that this thing is choice banned. So that's actually very useful information for later on, and I do get up those Stealth Rocks, so that's pretty nice. Now he's going to switch into Kamala. This is an interesting play because we actually end up double switching here. I expected him to want to stay in and just go for another waterfall, so I'm just going to switch into Cacturn, hoping to get the water absorb to activate. But this actually works out perfectly because I am faster than Kamala. I know that he does want to rapid spin those rocks away, so I'm able to just go straight for a superpower, and that's going to take care of the little koala. This thing's not going to give me any trouble today like they have in the past, so that's pretty nice to take care of that. And I don't have to worry about him getting rid of those Stealth Rocks the whole rest of the match because he doesn't have any rapid spin or defog support. So now he's going to go back into the Basculin. I'm assuming he wants to go for a superpower of his own to take care of my Cacturn. I'm just going to switch into Clefairy, knowing that I can't really do a whole lot here. I'm slower than like his whole team, plus I don't have much health, so I decided to kind of just sack this thing off. It kind of works out here because he's going to finish me off with a Crunch. He's going to tell me he is going to lock himself in the Crunch, and I do know that Electivire can take at least one of those, so I'm going to bring this dude in basically just to scare off the Basculin, and I'm going to actually go for the Electrium Z as he's going to switch into his Grumpig. Now, most of the time you do see Grumpig, they are going to be special defense walls, so I was kind of thinking that this would actually end up taking it out. A Gigavolt Havoc from an Electivire is pretty damn scary, honestly, so I go ahead and unleash that full Z move as this poor little piggy is about to get zapped the fuck up on. Look at how extreme Electivire looks. I would not want to be on the receiving end of that attack, but he actually ends up living it with like 25 HP, which is insane. And I'm actually going to go for an electric terrain here, potentially trying to set up the Swoobat, although that was kind of dumb. I figured it wouldn't be too bad to go for because it does power up my electric moves, and not really too bad. So he actually sets up a Reflect, which does kind of suck. But that does show me that he is going to be carrying the Light Clay because I didn't see any item use. So I think I just go for a Wild Charge here as he's going to bring in the Guzzlord. Gets hurt by a little bit of Stealth Rock, and with the electric terrain up, it's still not going to be able to do a whole lot because of that damn Reflect. Plus, this thing is just an absolute fat ass, and I do have Ice Punch on my Electivire, although I know it's not going to be able to take this thing out, and I'm probably going to take an Earthquake in return. So I decided to switch into good old Bob here, as he does go for the Earthquake, which is nice. It's not going to even do half to me, which is perfect, and I could kind of scare this thing away with Drain Punch. After I regained HP, I should be able to take a Dragon Claw from that thing potentially. So that was my plan, but he is just going to end up switching into the Grumpig, who does die to the Stealth Rock damage, which is nice. So down goes the Grumpig. I don't have to worry about screens anymore, so that's actually really useful, and I kind of just Drain Punch the air. So this allows him to switch into his Raichu, who is in on the electric terrains. He's going to be fast as hell, but I mean, he would actually be faster anyway. So I don't have really anything I can switch into here, so I kind of have to just sack off Hitmonchan here. I go for the Mach Punch just to get a little bit of damage. And this thing is going to go for actually like the super stoked Spark Surfer because he's sitting there on that electric terrain. He's kind of just like in his element right now. So he goes for that. That's kind of just overkill because Hitmonchan wouldn't be able to take it anyway. So he goes ahead and surfs right on my face, and that is going to kill my Hitmonchan. Not really too big of a deal because this does allow me to switch into pretty much anything I want, as the reflect on his side actually does go away, along with the electric terrain. So I'm just going to bring in my Electivire. I know that I can take at least one Psychic from this thing, and then I can kill it with an Earthquake in return. So he does go for the Psychic. I take that relatively nicely, do get the special defense drop, which doesn't really matter, because I go ahead and just shake the ground, and even though he's surfing above the ground, somehow that does hurt him, and that is going to be a fainted Raichu. So down goes that thing, and at this point he can bring in whatever he wants. He decides to go into the Basculin, basically just because he does outspeed me, and anything he goes for can knock me out here. So I actually just decided to save my Electivire. I'm looking pretty useful, so I'm going to try to catch him going for a Waterfall. I decide to bring in my Cacturn, although I'm assuming he predicts that, and he's going to go for a Superpower, which does take care of my Scarecrow, which does kind of suck. I was really hoping he would lock himself into Waterfall there, but unfortunately he makes a nice play, so good for him. But this does allow me to switch into Porky, and the good news is he is locked into Superpower because I know he's Choice Banded, so this is going to allow me an opportunity just to get up a free Calm Mind here, as he's going to switch into his Guzzlord. I figure this thing's at, it's kind of relatively whittled down, and if I can get like an Air Slash flinch, I could potentially have a chance to take this thing out. So I go for the Calm Mind, going to go ahead and sharply raise my special attack and special defense, which doesn't matter because he showed me he is a physical attacker anyway. But I go for the Air Slash, kind of hoping for the flinch. Actually doesn't really do much damage at all because that thing is just way too freaking bulky, and a Crunch is going to take care of my Swoobat, which does suck. I wasn't able to pull off the old Swoobat sweep this time, but he's going to go ahead and get his Beast Boost. But luckily though, I do still have my Electivire, who is carrying Ice Punch for situations like this, so I'm going to go ahead and freeze the old fist and then smack him right in the kisser, and that is going to be a dead Guzzlord. So at this point, all I have left is Electivire and my PYROAR. So the main thing that I'm worried about is this Basculin. I know that I can take at least one Aqua Jet from it if I'm at full health though, with the PYROAR. So what I have to do at this point is basically just sack off my Electivire, and he is just going to go for the Waterfall, which is kind of good news because at this point I can just bring in PYROAR, and I obviously do outspeed this thing. He's locked into Waterfall, so he can't go for Aqua Jet at this point. So I'm just going to go for the Hyper Voice, just go ahead and Choice Specs myself a Hyper Voice, as he is going to switch into his Noctowl. So this thing's going to take some nice Stealth Rock damage, and since I am Choice Specs, it is going to be a nice and easy 2-hit KO with the Hyper Voice. Going to knock him down to red with the first one. My Lion's just over here yelling at him, and he's like, fuck you, bird. But yeah, so we're both down to our last Pokemon. He just has his Basculin left, and luckily I still have my full health PYROAR left. So it all comes down to if I can live in Aqua Jet. Obviously I do outspeed, so he is forced to go for Aqua Jet and try to hope for some maximum damage. So he's going to go ahead and click that Aqua Jet. I'm sitting over here like, please no critical hit. I live it with 9 HP, which is insane. He was so close to killing me, and a Hyper Voice is going to take care of the Basculin. So that was an intense ending to that match. Honestly, I thought I was going to be able to take the Aqua Jet a little nicer, but I guess that just tells me that that was an adamant Basculin with the Choice Band. So if he had any Stealth Rocks up on my side of the field, I would have lost that match, but that was a pretty damn intense battle. It didn't go kind of really how I expected. This team, I had to kind of improvise a little bit, but overall, I still thought that was a really intense match. But thank you guys for watching. Go ahead and hit that like button on this video if you enjoyed, and don't forget to subscribe for some more Wi-Fi battles. Peace out. And don't forget to pick up your Boo plush and shirt, because they're not going to be around for long.